Yep, it's me again. They hate us. This is why they give a fuck about us at the same time. I am your host, JD Miles. The MGTOWs, they love to hate. Even the ones that claim everybody loves to hate them, loves to hate MGTOW at the same time as always, which is why they keep us relevant to this very day. And I'm back again. Oh my God. Why do they always jump on social media just to embarrass themselves? as well as put put their own retarded fuckery out on display, in which y'all see the title of the video. Single mom teaches no, single mom promoting other single moms to deceive their supposed baby daddy. And yes, I put emphasis on the supposed part. Now she's online trying to tell other women who are single mothers to deceive their boyfriends and husbands if they cheated and got pregnant. Even going as far as to deny paternity testing, in which fellas, I'm going to tell you this out the gate. Y'all have options. If she refused, there's always another way. And I'll get to that other way in a second. But shout out to Anton Daniels. I'll leave the link to the full video in the comment section. Go check it out. But enough talking. Let's get down to this bullshit, shall we?
Y'all be cheating on y'all boyfriend and y'all get pregnant. Why do y'all tell y'all to? Just let your boyfriend be the baby daddy. Just let it be what it is. You don't have to tell him nothing. And when he gets to question you, gaslight him. Like, so you really think this not your baby? And if you have to, even threaten him. Say, if we gotta do a DNA test, my baby not getting your last name.
So basically, she's promoting paternity fraud, is what she's doing. That's exactly what she's doing. She's telling other women to commit paternity fraud, deceiving their boyfriends and husbands by cheating on them. And if they get pregnant, hide it from their boyfriends and husbands and have them pretend as if, they're the father, they're the biological father of the child. But you got retarded fucks on YouTube mad and in their feelings because we talk about these type of single moms the way we do, in which we don't give a fuck. Look at what the fuck they're doing. But she's really out here pushing this shit. And by the way, shout out to my sources. Yep, this is on TikTok, and y'all know how I am about TikTok. But damn, even they tell me, even the women in the comment section is telling other women not to take this stupid 304's advice. And yeah, you know she's fucking up when her own female supporters are telling her about herself and pointing out where she's fucking up at. God damn, let's continue.
Dudes love for their kids have their last name. Like, they take so much pride in it. They act like it's the most important thing in the world. But telling on yourself is a no. And I know some people are like, oh, well, your child deserves to know who their biological parent is. Do what's best for your child. Some people don't have a daddy in their life at all, and it's their real daddy. It's about the man who stepped up to be daddy. Being a dad is way more than being blood related. But y'all don't.
And this is coming from a single mom. Daddy nowhere in sight, promoting this retarded fuck shit. Let's continue.
Y'all just want to get on here crying on the internet because y'all chose the wrong baby daddy. Y'all want to talk about how this dude a baby, but he was never in a relationship with you anyway. So did you really think that he cared about?
But you let him hit it raw. You didn't have second thoughts. Now you're single mom. You say you'll have his kid. Don't care if he's here or not. Now you're a single mom. Now you're a single mom.
Cared about you? You really think that he would care about a child that came out of you? Look, y'all ain't gotta take my advice, but ask yourself. Please. Will he be honest with you?
For the love of God, please don't. Because I ain't gonna lie, and I'm not gonna bite my tongue on what I'm about to say next. This is one miserable ass bitch. Yeah, I call her that. Fuck your feelings if you're mad. You want me to treat you like a woman? I'll treat you like a woman. But you're gonna act like a bitch? I will treat you like one. Plain and simple, simple and plain. Unapologetically. Let's continue.
With you? If he went and made another baby with somebody else, will he tell you, or he gonna let you find out on your own? You know, the worst thing about this type of video is that, aside from the fact that it's public, and I always like to give credit to the content creator,
And the fact that she's putting herself right there on Front Street. So now all the fellas would know to avoid this 304 like the plague. Fellas, don't get caught up by women like this. Nope, 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 nope. Don't get caught up because she's telling you exactly what she's gonna do. But let's continue.
So that link will be down in the description. But aside from the fact that it's public, the worst thing about content like this is that you can actually hear the children in the background. Think about that for a second.
Single mom.
Because in the social media era, you know, one day these children grow up and then they see these videos, right? And when they see these videos, hopefully they'll start to realize the monsters that had them, that brought them into this world. And I don't think that every parent should be honored, right? I don't think that everybody needs a microphone. I don't think that everybody needs to be given advice. But we live in an era and an age.
I agree. Is it wrong for me to call her a deadbeat single mom for doing all this shit to their children? I doubt it. But let's continue.
Age where people are taking their advice from people that's on the internet that don't have any kind of results, but what they're doing is that they're basically fitting into the narrative and fitting into the stereotype. If y'all want to complain about what happens in life, if y'all want to complain about the culture, or if you're trying to figure out what's wrong with it, look no further than this type of advice right here. I haven't even gotten into the advice yet, but I'm just talking about the people, right? Look at what we're listening to. Look at what is happening. Look at how things are playing out. Yo, we have the largest rate of single mothers in any other culture, more than any other culture. We have people that are in student loan debt that saying that they're the most educated, yet they don't know how to get themselves out of debt, and they don't even realize that they can't expunge it off of their profile through bankruptcy. We have people that'll sit here and be the most promiscuous. Bro, the STI rate and children in the community is more than a third world country in the most populous black places like Atlanta and Houston. And these people are basically encouraging people. Now, we know that the way that you build wealth in a community, the best place to raise a child is in a two-parent married household, right? And so these people are having conversations. They are talking about how it is that you need to move as far as not taking a paternity test. And listen to the dumb advice. So let's get into the advice for a minute. The first thing is,
before Anton does, I need to point something out because this is some real shit right here. She wants to deny paternity tests. Okay. However, there's this, as I said before in the beginning, fellas, y'all have another option. If she refuses to give you a paternity test, then here's what you should do. go to the court, go to the court and demand a paternity test. No, listen to what Uncle JD Miles is saying here. If she refuse, if she refuses to give you a paternity test, then go to the court and demand a paternity test. Because if you demand a paternity test by the court, guess what? She won't have a choice. And no, she's not above the law on this matter because if she still refuses, the paternity test by the court, then again, I would say it. I would like to explain it, but I'm gonna let a lawyer explain it to everybody here.
Anytime a person fails to follow the court's orders, and in this case would be a court order to comply with DNA testing, the court can enforce that order in a number of ways, anywhere from fines, attorney's fees, to incarceration. So the court can force a mother to permit to have a child submit for DNA testing.
And there you have it. If you get a paternity test by the court, she will have no choice but to take that paternity test because it's mandatory. I mean, straight up. She could get away with it. She could have got away with it if she was in France. But this is America, bitches. And if it's through the courts, she don't have a choice in that matter. I just wanted to point that out. Let's continue.
Thing that she says is basically if the guy wants a paternity test, which I believe that we need to be doing paternity tests at birth. There's nothing wrong with the truth, and people need to be exposed for what it is that they've been doing and dealing with. I believe that we need to have paternity tests at birth. That's just standard. If we don't have paternity tests at birth, that's problematic in itself because it
Straight up. Straight up. And unlike her, the vast majority of women agree that they should have paternity tests at birth. The ones who don't agree and the ones who are offended by mandatory paternity testing are the ones like her who has something to hide. After all, didn't she said that if she cheated on her boyfriend or husband and gets pregnant, hide the baby, don't give a paternity test? Those are the ones who are offended by mandatory paternity testing. And fellas, hear it from Uncle JD. If you have any ounce of paternity doubt, do not sign your name on that birth certificate, or else you will be on the hook, even if the child is not yours. But let's continue.
it basically allows for things to continue to be the way that they were, as far as all of these times and these places where, people have been able to finesse for a long time. And I don't understand why that's not mandatory. We should have paternity tests at birth. It would solve for a lot of problems. It would solve for child support. It would solve for the trauma. A lot of y'all guys think that it's
Straight up, out the gate. This is this is why we out here in the trenches. This is why we out here in the trenches fighting for mandatory paternity testing rather than preaching. One state passed it. Two states passed it. Now we're fighting for other states to pass that same law as well. And yeah, we are fighting the good fight here. Let's continue.
think that it's okay to continue to rock out with chicks or with kids that's not yours because you've been taking care of them for a long time. So then they say, oh, well, it's not the child's fault. You're right. It's the mother's fault. It's the mother's fault for sleeping around. And then they validate the cheating by saying, well, he wouldn't tell you. He wouldn't tell you what? He can't get pregnant. The most sacred thing, the most valued thing, which is a woman's womb, is the thing that people are basically telling you that you shouldn't pay attention to or you shouldn't be mindful of. Why would they do that?
Because they have something to hide. Because they know they were fucking around, got pregnant, and now, because they don't want to end the relationship, because their boyfriends or husbands are breadwinners, and they're just riding along. They'll try to deceive them by pretending as if, oh, he's the father when he isn't. So many answers to that question, Anton. Now I'm gonna stop Anton Daniels' video right here because I want y'all to see for yourselves how women in their right mind is looking at paternity tests compared to these stupid 304s like this one who wants to deceive their men, and why they can't take it when people ask for mandatory paternity testing. But let's hear it from a woman who stand in agreement on mandatory paternity testing. And shout out to Dating Right. I'll leave the link to his full video in the comments section as well. But I want y'all to see for yourselves the women who stand in agreement to mandatory paternity testing, and why I give them a big salute. But let's see. But let's take a look, shall we?
Mandatory in the hospital for men. Now, before y'all start calling me a pick Misha, and guess Misha is my name, and I'm really upset about that. Anyway, that's besides the point of this video. Yes, I believe that DNA tests should be mandatory for men, all men, including married men. And just to piggyback off of Sis's video, when my baby daddy asked me for a DNA test, I didn't care. It didn't offend me. You know why? Because I knew he was the baby daddy. But he didn't know he was the baby daddy, right? I feel like if you offended by a paternity test, 9 times out of 10, you was fucking somebody else. And you may not know who the baby daddy is. It's at least a toss-up. Because
Salute to her. Because she said the exact same thing I said. If he's asking her for a paternity test and she knows that the child is his, then guess what? She don't give a fuck. She don't care. Go ahead, take the paternity test. We all know the answer to that question. It's the ones who are offended and have a problem with mandatory paternity testing are the ones with something to hide. They're the ones who's cheating on their boyfriends and husbands, got pregnant, and now trying to cover their goddamn tracks. Those are the ones who have a problem with mandatory paternity testing at birth. But the vast majority of women agrees with mandatory paternity testing at birth. But I wanted to play that little snippet right there. That way people will know exactly what Uncle JD is saying right here. Again, shout out to both Anton Daniels and Dating Right. I'll leave the full link to both their videos in the comment section. Go check it out. Tell them JD Miles sent you. But that's all I got for tonight. I'm done and I'm out this bitch. Later.